Hello, it's Sequence Pay, and we're back with another video. What are we doing today?
So today we're going to be reacting to the new president of the United States.
Yay!
As soon as he got sworn in, he started working.
Right.
As soon as he got sworn in.
Right.
But before we get into it, let's just check out this clip first.
Okay.
And then you tell me what you think.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have a directive to every department and agency in the federal government to address the cost of living crisis that has cost Americans so dearly.
That's a big one.
Do you think he can do something about that, and he will do something? Well,
yeah.
I can get him wanting to, but isn't this? Well, obviously, if they can get if they can control inflation, it will definitely, I think, impact a lot of other countries as well, for the better.
Yes.
Because obviously the cost of living.
Not only that, but inflation is one of the big things.
Or a result.
So he's basically telling government that you need to address the high cost of living for American citizens. So they can do that in multiple ways. One, controlling inflation. Two,
controlling immigration.
All that stuff. Also, subsidizing whatever industries, for example, the food industry, subsidize the food industry to make industry, all those things. They can do stuff like that. So he's just telling them that I need you to look into this. I need you to find ways to make the cost of living as cheap as possible for Americans, which is good. So Trump is doing what he told people he was going to do in his campaign, and what people voted for him for. So one of the main things is high cost of living, and one of the other big things was the immigration issue.
Yeah.
So again, this executive order addressing the high cost of living, he signed an executive order before he called a state of emergency at the border. So now people can now cross the border at all and start deporting and all that stuff. So it's good. Now in South African context, I wish Cyril was this active.
That's what I was gonna say as well.
I wish Trump has done more in
not only with the immigration thing, but in all areas that affect South Africans.
Yeah. So Trump has done more in one day than Cyril has done in the past. How many years now? Probably 6 years. Is it 2019? Yeah. Trump, he's done more than Cyril has done in 6 years.
Thank you, sir. The next item here is the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Yes, sir. We're going to save over $1 trillion by withdrawing from that treaty. And the next item, sir, is a letter that will be transmitted to the United Nations explaining that we are withdrawing from the Paris. Thank you, sir. This next item is a directive to the federal government ordering the restoration of freedom of speech and preventing government censorship of free speech going forward.
So this one's a big one as well.
It's a big one.
If you've been on Twitter recently, you've seen Elon basically fighting the British government for arresting people who say certain things,
Yeah.
censoring people. You know, there's quite a hard restriction on what you can say now in Britain and all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Elon has been basically fighting those people.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of Americans voted for Trump because they saw that Biden's administration was censoring social media, they were censoring Facebook at some point.
Yeah.
They wanted to censor. They were censoring Twitter.
They were introducing like the fact situation, you know,
fact checkers and all that. Stuff like
and like who then said what is fact, and people were arguing like. So that's obviously a way for them to start driving propaganda and. You know, and feeding people what they would like people to know.
Obviously, removing all of that stuff so that people can say whatever they want.
Yes.
America is the land of the free.
Yeah.
Leaders of the free world.
At least give me free speech.
Yeah. But on the other side, people are saying that this now is going to absolve Trump from any misinformation that he may spread in the future. So
almost like he's preempting that he will, and
nobody's gonna hold him accountable if he spreads misinformation, if he says the wrong thing, and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, he is kind of notorious for having such comments, but
depending on how you look at this, but I think
he's also a citizen. You may be the first citizen, but he's also a citizen, just like anybody else. And if you're free to say your piece, so should he be.
Yeah. So depending on how you look at this, it's a good or bad thing, but. I think for most people
it's crazy. I think it's safer to say free speech because you really have to stand for it if you say no, and then you have to think why and based on what, and then come up with those things. What is fact? Who determines what is fact? And you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it is safer for places to just allow freedom of speech.
So I'm hoping YouTube does follow these guidelines because YouTube will be censoring people.
Yeah, YouTube censors so bad.
Well,
you can't say things about certain people, can't say certain words.
People have to say corn instead of grape instead of it's just stupid things like that. Like, So I hope this will affect like social media platforms so that people can speak freely without being censored.
That could be very interesting if it does cross YouTube.
And lastly, sir, before we go back to the Oval Office to sign a large number of other items, is a directive to the federal government ending the weaponization of government against the political adversaries of the previous administration, as we've seen.
That's a small move.
Yeah.
That's a very small. He's even shown that.
But in what way would he have done it?
So like how they did to him, where they just
gave him 100
cases or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was in and out of court fighting cases.
That's a good move.
So it's like we must stop using government as a weapon.
Yeah.
We must stop using government as a weapon to target our political opponents and stuff like that. So even he's like, I'm not gonna do that to you.
If I got a personal beef with you, I'll handle it personally. You know, like we'll deal with it on the side. Me and you, we'll take it outside.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
So
man, this is interesting. This
very, very interesting.
Definitely a dawn of a new era, I feel, in America. Especially now that he's being received more openly by people as opposed to his last term. I feel like when people openly embrace you like that, it does kind of give you a little bit more wiggle room to actually do the stuff that you want to do, as opposed to you keep having to defend yourself in every speech you have to do is defending yourself, or trying to clear your name and things like that. Now you're being more embraced and people are waiting to hear what you have to say, waiting to hear your views. Hopefully that obviously will motivate him to do best by the people.
Yeah, so I just wanted to take it back to like South African context. I was noticing now on Twitter, when I was on Twitter now, like a lot of South Africans are crying for a leader like this. Like
Absolutely.
we've had Cyril now for quite a number of years, and it's just having a president that just does nothing.
That does nothing.
No, just inaction, reactionary. Like he's only there when things go wrong.
But even then, he's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's just lip service.
Yeah, lip service, call family meetings, and that's as far as it goes.
That's why ANC lost so many votes. Yeah. Because the ANC had pretty much most of the country was loyal to the ANC. But because the ANC couldn't carry out the political will of the people.
You delegate stuff. It's not like you're expected to do it yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not expected to go physically build those houses. You're not expected to physically, yourself. You just need to make sure things are happening. That's really your primary focus. And have people close to you who actually want the same thing, who actively are active about making sure that things are done. So what's so difficult about that? You're still gonna eat. Our lives are being compromised because you want to eat. You know what I'm saying? You're so selfish. Because you want to build your own. Everybody's coming to be a president so they can build a house of riches. Then the next one comes and then they also store up money. And then the next one comes and they also store up money. But not doing anything for the people. That's a ridiculous mentality. It's kind of sickening.
It's one of those things where, like,
aren't you embarrassed?
Our leaders need to actually step up. It's unfortunate that now the ANC have been shown that the people have shown the ANC that we're not happy with you. We're not happy with how you run the country. We're not happy with how you run the country for the last 30 years. But still, they don't see that. They don't see that as like a sign to do better, a sign to change.
Like, aren't you tired of being like small boys in the bigger world stage? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think they care about that.
I mean, on the ground, we are doing our best as a country to put a name, make a name for ourselves. We are literally on the ground, we're carrying the country and making the name for it. But like now, when it comes to these things, embarrassing.
So yeah, everybody, like most South Africans know that our politics are holding us back from being like a great nation, or one of, if not the greatest nation on the planet. I hope that our political leaders will see a leader like Trump.
Look for other kids.
We'll see a leader like Putin or these other world leaders that
get inspiration.
Actually putting their countries on the map, actually making their countries the top countries in the world in terms of living standards, in terms of like the politics, global politics, all that stuff. We just
infrastructure.
Yeah, but the main point of this whole video is just to see that
look at other kids.
Somebody can literally be sworn in now and be active. Be like, no, I'm working now.
Years and years worth of change in one go.
It is what it is. You guys let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah, let us know.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.